welcome back. Well, many of us are tired of being inside and are spending as much time outdoors right now as we can.
Yeah, that also means more sun exposure, which can be dangerous, especially for kids. I talked to a local doctor about things to keep in mind to keep your kids safe when they're outside. Joining me from Raleigh Children's Hospital is Dr. Emily Scott. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Let's talk about the concern for kids when they get into the summer months, especially when they get out into the sun. What are some of the concerns and some of the precautions that people should take?
Yeah, we really at this point in time want our kids to be spending a lot of time outside, especially as we've been hanging out inside the house during these past few months. It's going to be really important for parents to kind of get their kids outside so they can run around, but we want to be mindful of sun safety and make sure our little ones aren't getting burned.
Yeah, are there certain ages to be more concerned about than others?
You know, we are really concerned about sun protection for all ages of kids. Babies less than 6 months are particularly at risk for sunburns. And so we want to make sure we try to keep those little babies out of the sun in general.
Are there any what kind of precautions they should take? I know that maybe hats or things like that. I think about when my kids, when I would take them out into the sun, just try to avoid that exposure altogether.
Yeah, so I think between the hours of about 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., it's best to avoid a lot of direct sun exposure. We know that's when our UV rays are definitely the most strong. But, you know, I think a good habit for all families to get into, whether it's a sunny day or a cloudy day, is to make sure they put sunscreen on every day and reapply it every 2 hours.
What kind of sunscreens? You know, you hear all these different news stories from time to time about what they should be applying, what's in it. Are there certain sunscreens that are better than others?
Yeah, so it is so overwhelming for parents when they go to the store to figure out which sunscreen to buy. In general, we want parents to be using a broad spectrum sunscreen. That means it blocks both UVA and UVB rays. And we want them to look for an SPF or sun protection factor of about 30 to 50. The other thing I get a lot of questions about from parents is whether they can use the spray sunscreens. And certainly if they can in a pinch, but we really prefer the lotions. It's a lot easier for kids to get covered well with a lotion. The sprays are a little bit trickier for parents to use. You have to have it really close to the kiddo's skin, like within about an inch. And it's just, you know, with a wiggly toddler, it's a little bit harder to do that.
Interesting. I never heard that as well. It seems so much easier with the spray.
It does, but you know, I think parents have a tendency to apply it like you apply perfume or, you know, other kinds of sprays. And to really do it correctly with the spray, you have to get really close to the skin and coat very well.
Now, if the kids do get sunburn or anything like that, is there any like warning signs or things they should do? I mean, concerns?
Yeah. So if it's a kind of your run-of-the-mill sunscreen, I think making sure kiddos stay hydrated, so giving them lots of water to drink, treating their symptoms. So if they are starting to feel achy, giving them a little bit of Tylenol or ibuprofen, putting cold compresses or giving them a cooler bath, it can be helpful. But if parents have concerns that their child's sunburn is worse or they're seeing any blistering, they should definitely check in with their child's pediatrician to see if any further treatment is needed.
All good advice, and hopefully we can get outside and enjoy the sunshine here a little bit with our social distancing, right?
Absolutely.